going to be tricky. Maybe right there. Nope, right here. That's going to suck. But at least you guys will see me. So for that light. When I talk about shit, back up a little bit. It's not bad. I'm probably gonna get a lot of people in here because I got it doing this where there's something wrong with that extra phone that I have that I used to do it like that, but now I've got to do it like this. I'll probably get a lot of people on tonight. You guys see that? The movement. I'm gonna talk about the movement here in a minute. Let's start Facebook Live here. Wow, there you go. Now, shoot. I'm trying to get this set up over here. It is share. I'll share a lot of it later, not really right now. Got 5 people on, and I just started. That's more than a lot of other people got on there. You guys like that backdrop back there? Short porch, the movement. I did not know that was going to be sent to me, and it showed up about a couple of days ago. I have the wife working on it a little bit, outlining the movement. That way you guys can see that. This one's going to be backwards. Kind of go over some things before I get started. And what I want to do with a lot of this is it's just get you guys up to speed and let you guys reassure you, a lot of you guys out there, that I'm not abandoning anything. I'm not leaving. You know, the only thing I'm leaving is the bat reviews. I'm not leaving you guys when I talk about health and nutrition, workouts, just little things like that I can educate, things that I know, and things that I would recommend that you go to your doctor and check out. You know, supplements that you need as we get older. You know, we don't digest our food like we used to back in the day when we used to eat pizza all the time. I'm having a problem with that one. This is YouTube over here, Facebook over here. That's not going away, guys. That's actually, I can spend more time on it instead of just doing, I'm gonna kind of ramble here for a while before I talk about some things, and give you guys, and what I want to do is mainly a lot of, and I've been doing this for 15 years, guys, transparency, let you guys know, what to go through. I've had a lot of you guys actually talk to me out there about what can I do, how can I get my own YouTube channel and get it started with doing bat reviews. What I'm going to do in this video a little bit at the beginning is I'm going to tell you guys what to look out for. My experience, in the last 15 years doing this, and I would love for a lot of you YouTubers out there to start doing YouTube and get up off the couch and just start focusing on hitting a lot of bats. Because the only way to get educated, not just by listening to a lot of these guys out there talk about bats or weight distribution and barrel flex and handle flex and stuff like that, is to go out there and do it yourself. And I know a lot of you guys up north cannot do that because of the weather. A lot of times the guys in Florida can do it a lot. West Coast can do it. Down here in South Texas we can do it. And I just get the feel of bats, because you don't really, when you talk about bats, you really don't, if you're with one company for such a long time, you really haven't experienced the way other bats swing, the other way other bat companies actually make their bats. So when you get out there and you start doing these videos that I've seen in the last month, ever since I decided not to do this anymore, you start seeing a lot of these videos out there with misinformation. And I was talking to one of the guys the other day about, they need somebody needs a fact checker to check the facts of a lot of these car salesmen out there that are talking about bats. And the reason I did this 15 years ago is because of the car salesmen, because of the guys that, and I invite, a lot of the, there's a lot of good bat review people out there. And guys, we need to get more, that way you get an opinion from a few of them and get it out of the car salesman's hands. Because basically when you walk up to a tent, and I've heard them at the tent, they're trying to sell you something that doesn't go with your bat speeder. They're trying to sell you something that, they don't even know how you perform. They don't even know how you swing. And they're up there trying to sell you something. And all this, guys, you've got to listen to what I have to say in this video, because I'm gonna open up some doors, and like you see the movement in the background, right? I'm gonna open up some gateways. And since I've been doing this for a while, where the biggest thing that I get is, one thing, thanks for all the messages you guys sent me for the last month that I decided to go with short porches, and that really, that's more than anything, man. You guys tell me, hey, you guided me in the right direction on what to pick up, because I was getting sold a bag of goods over here that really didn't go good with me, and I spent a lot of money over there for the last 10 years doing all this stuff. And the reason I did this 15 years ago, and y'all heard the story, is a lot of seniors out there that were hitting with, when we were hitting out on this softball field, and they were just buying bats that didn't go with their swing. They're talking about hard barrel bats, and or they were buying bats that just weren't broke in, that took a long time to broke in, and they were saying, yeah, it's hot out of the wrapper. So I'm gonna still educate a lot of you guys out there when it comes to that. I'm not going to give up on just doing that. I'm going to give up on doing bat reviews. I'll tell you one thing, and I talked to the guys from Short Porch the other day, and they agree, and they actually, because I've got to change. I've got to change the way I think. I got to change the way I talk. I work for a company, a very good company right now, and it's got to be corporate. I'm not going to sit up here and bash a bat company. I will not do that. There's a lot of guys out there that work. I'm not going to turn into them. That's one thing I have to assure you guys, is I'm not going to turn into those guys that, I'm not saying all you guys, it's not an absolute. I'm not saying all the bat companies do this, but there are some bat companies that are total assholes out there, and they try to, car salesmen, and they're up there and they're not educated on what the technology is, because basically what they are, guys, basically what they are is just, they're just signature players, and they out there talking about their bat, but they're not in their bat deep, right? They don't, they really, what's up, Matt? And so, and I've been in this deep for 15 years. I'm not going to sit up here and pound my chest like recently a lot of these bat companies are doing about they're the gurus, they're the best, they know more knowledge than anybody out there, which I think is bullshit. I've never been that guy to sit up here and say I know everything. I do not know everything, and I want to learn. I want to learn from people, and for these people to get up there, because I'm gonna open up here in a minute and tell you guys it's been a shit show for probably about a month. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of people talking out there, and there's been a lot of and you know, unloyalty. You know, there's been a lot of um, people that, like, whenever you're going to start doing a bat review, you got to understand you're going to get a lot of false friends, and a lot of those false friends are the manufacturers um, that are out there. Whenever they can no longer use you, you know, as a what's up, Clem? When they can no longer use you, and Clem and Trey know all about this too, is when they can no longer use you as a platform to actually advertise for their product, they discard you, or they'll talk shit about you, you know, because they don't need you anymore. And that's what's been happening. And guys, you know, I have, I told you this before in the past, I have thick skin. I really don't care, but I've known this about these people for a long time. But whenever you guys, you got to understand this. If you guys are going to start this bat review business, because it is a business, you have to run it as a business. You have to be aware that, you know, they're not all your friends. They talk to you like you are, but they're not your friend. You know, and the first time that you start ripping on their bat, and that's it, they don't have nothing to do with you anymore, or they'll discredit you, or they'll try to. Yes, definitely, Adam. And we talked about this a long time ago, Adam. Um, is they'll try to discredit you, and it's the way that our system goes. That's not just with the bat reviews; it's with everything. Whenever they don't like what you say, they try to discredit you. Who is this guy, or who is that, or I'm the guy, or you know, the pounding on the chest within the last 2 to 3 weeks on a bat guy that says he's the best out there. I never pound on my chest. I never said I was the best guy out there. But for this guy to do that and say, who is he? I've been doing this for 4 years. Bitch, I've been doing this for 15 years. You know, and it just bothers me that these, but the reason I know this, guys, and I know this is the truth, and this ain't bullshit, I'm telling you, is because I saw the text messages and stuff like that, that these guys send around to try to discredit me or the company that I work for. And it's just a shame that there's enough, and me and Leslie and Jeff talked about this the other day. There's enough to go around for everybody, but you have these people to get butt hurt, you know, and they got to try to discredit the other person, you know. And the one thing that, you know, I recommend to a lot of you guys that want to start doing the review for bats is don't lose yourself into that shit. Don't, you know, be honest with people. Tell them the truth, because they're gonna know if you're lying. You know, that's the one thing I've known for years. Even before I did this, I always tell the truth, because they can tell. People they're not dumb. The people are not dumb. They know when you're full of shit. You know, especially when you're trying to sell them something and it doesn't work for them, and then you just try to get that bat sell out of them. But what we're going to do here is, guys, I'm not going to sit up there and say Short Porch is the greatest bat company out there. I'm not. I like the direction that they're going. And like we talked, we had a little meeting the other day, and we talked, it was a meeting. They were driving, I was talking, and, you know, let's just let the chips fall where they may. And it's not a quick fix, guys. It's something that down in the future, you guys will know who are the top tier bat companies. I'm not saying there's one top tier bat companies. There's a few top tier bat companies. So, guys, it's there's enough to go around for everybody, and and there's just so many ways of looking at things. I look at things different than a lot of people out there, you know. I look at things as weight distribution. I look at things as barrel flex, you know, compared to bat speed. What size bat you should be swinging. And guys, let's hit another thing too. Let me clear something up for you. When I say that heavy bats are not good for us seniors or good for the girls, I'm not saying a 26 or 27. A lot of you guys are saying, well, I swing a 20. I tried that 25 ounce. I'm not saying a 25 ounce. That's really light. You know, would I recommend a 25 ounce for a lady? Yes, I would recommend a 20 soft barrel 25 ounce for a lady. Um, that is the truth. I'm replying to short porch, and I'm not going to get, you know, too far into, you know, talking about other people. It's just when you get into this business, you have to understand that you are putting yourself up uh, to be criticized, talked about, talked about your swing, you know, and you got to have that thick skin. You got to have that where it just rolls off of you and you don't give a shit because, you know, and it's hard for me. Me and Jeff talked about this the other day. It's hard for me to do it because of where I came from San Antonio, the south side of San Antonio, and you didn't talk shit to people. You know, you just didn't do that. You know, so when I get little pop offs on the internet and I'll message them and say, what did you mean by what you just said? You know, or do you have a problem with me? And I'll confront them, and usually they'll say, no, I'm just playing around. And that's what I'm talking about with people out there that will say things. I need to learn just to, and I talked to Jeff and Leslie about this. I need to learn just to back off, and I can't do that anymore. I'm not no longer senior softball bat reviews where I can, where I can. This is mine, right? This ain't mine no more. It's theirs. So I got to kind of like be politically correct or not as confrontational, which I never was in the past anyway. I let you do your shit, I do my shit. I didn't really care. And the deal about what I want to do is the only way to about this, about these guys self-proclaiming that they're the greatest bat builder out there. I've been doing. I have more knowledge than anybody. I've never heard anybody actually out there that said that other than a couple of people that talked about it, you know. And I just wanted, there was a whole script that I wanted to go, there was a whole script that I wanted to talk about. Well, if your bat was so good, how come I fixed that? Or, you know, if your bat was this good, how come I didn't find that problem in that bat? How come I found that problem in that bat and that bat's no longer made anymore, it's discontinued? So if you're this big guy you say you are, how come I found your problems, you know? But I didn't want to go there, but I just did. But I didn't call them out. I didn't say who they are. But one thing I will tell you, and the one thing that the reason, and a lot of people are asking me, why short porch? Not a lot of people. A few people are asking me, Dave, why did you decide, and not someone else, you know, somebody that's been out there for 20 years or 15 years, you know, something like that. Why short porch? Let me explain to you something about short porch. They have engineers that own the company. Engineers that, listen to me, engineers that own the company. Then they have three engineers, Christian being one of them right here. Christian is an engineer. So they have three of those guys, two engineers on the company, that Christian that works with them, right? And for me to walk in with my bro science, because I'm not saying I graduated high school, guys. I'm not saying I'm an engineer. I'm not. What I do have is a lot of common sense, and I do like to tinker with shit since I was in my 20s, especially with bats. I did like to do that. Billy Blake got me started doing that back in the day, and they called Billy the bat. Well, they called him the bat guy back in the day, back in the 80s. And I was there with Billy whenever he was doing these experiments on bats, and I learned a little bit from him, and I took that a little further when, you know, back in the 90s, you know, when I started doing my own shit. And I did branch off of Billy's, but Billy got me started because I was always interested in building bats. So yes, I did, and I have swung a lot of bats, guys, too. I probably swung more bats than this guy that talks about self-proclaimed being the bat guy, the bat whore, that has more knowledge than anybody else. I swung a lot more bats than he did because he's only tied to one company, you know, and I've swung a lot of companies' bats. So I bringing that knowledge to short porch. And one thing I like about short porch is before I even came along is they were going in that direction where they're about the barrel flex. There are other things that they talk to me about, like I'm like, damn, you know, yes, you're right, that can be done that way. And they were talking to me about, different kind of polymers and flex and this kind of carbon, and their carbon is, that they have, and all this other stuff. And so I was like, oh man, I've got to do this. I've got these guys up here. They got three engineers that work there that are pulling the strings right now. And here I come, the missing the chain and the link that actually has swung a lot of these bats, that has swung a lot of bats, guys. I've swung a shit ton of bats, and have experience, and plus my following too. A lot of you guys don't understand is I get feedback not only from my guys that were hitting with me for the last 15 years. I got feedback from all the minions out there. I got feedback from all the people that asked me questions about bats. The other engineers that were out there with, just like tinkering with bats, and would get out there and just hit a lot of bats. That all information came to me, and then I would test it out, bro science, right? So the only science I'm bringing on, they have the science. Those three guys have the science. Those two guys and one girl have the science, right? I'm bringing the bro science into this. Exactly. That's bro science, real life experiences. That's bro science. That's hearing the science and then taking the science and testing it. I call it bro science. I got that off the internet like 15, 20 years ago. Some guy on YouTube was talking about bro science because they were talking about lifting weights, and yeah, this is better for you. Well, hang on, I'm gonna try it this way. I'm not gonna try it your way. I'm gonna try it this way. Lou Simmons talks about it back in the day about doing a power lifter. A lot of you guys don't understand the way Lou Simmons with Westside Barbell Club talked about. He had bro science, and he would talk. I'm going on a rant here, but he would talk about explosive movement. Instead of working with big mass, work with a lighter weight. Do 45, 55, 65% of your max, and do explosive movements. Do 9 sets, 3 reps. That's bro science. And it worked for me when I was powerlifting back in the day in my 30s. It worked for me. So he had this vision, right? I was 30, 29, 30, 31, 30. I followed him till he passed, but he was a big time powerlifter that thought outside the box when it came to powerlifting, and he taught powerlifting, and that's bro science. He didn't go through the science. He did other things, and a lot of you guys know who I'm talking about. And he did different things to actually create. He did reverse hypers, for your back, and creates very good back muscles. So those are the things that I like. Those are the things that I will bring into Short Porch. And I'm not going to sit up here like I talked about earlier. I'm not going to sit up here and talk about we got the best stuff out. We got this. No, I'm not going to do that. I will tell you that our carbon is made in the United States. I will say that our carbon's not from China. So our carbon is actually flown from Savannah, Georgia, and I've known this for years. It's just something that they just told me. I knew that for a long time. Right. I've got a question for all the minions out there that are watching. I've got 35 people coming up and watching now. It's anybody the back company, any other back company that makes their carbon or has their carbon in the United States that actually ships it over to China? I don't think there's any bats that are made in USA anymore. There's no bats there. I know there's some machines here. I do not for a fact. There's like 3 machines that are still here in the States are not being used. I do know that. But is anybody actually making bats out of the United States anymore? I'm not talking about assembling bats. I'm not talking about making them over there, bringing them over here, and then claiming they're from the USA, that they're made in USA. But basically what you do is you're assembling them here, the 2-piece bats. That's the only thing I'm saying. Anybody have their own carbon in the United States? I really don't know. I know one, Short Porch, these guys right here do it. That's a fact that they have it here. They ship all of their polymers, all of their rosins, all of their stuff over there to get done. That's another thing too that made me want to come over here, and the brainiacs, because I can sit there and talk to these guys. We talk our average hour and a half on the phone every other day to these guys. Christian, when we go to Vegas, because I will be in Vegas talking to these guys, and we'll sit there, and I guarantee you, we'll talk the whole time about just bouncing stuff off of each other, because I still want to learn. I'm not that guy that is the best out there. I'm not telling you guys that. I never had said that. 15 years I've been doing this, never said I'm the best bat review guy out there. I've never said that shit. I said this. I said, hey, get them all, man. Get them all out there. You know, get them all out there. Have them do bat reviews. Everybody get out there and do bat reviews. I'm not gonna talk about you. You know, I'll promote you. You guys know that shit. I'll promote you whenever you do a review. Put it on my page. You know, I've said that for years. I invited people out there like that. Never said I was the best. Never said I was the best. So when you got these guys that are just throwing shit up against the wall and hopefully it'll stick, you know, that are saying, hey, listen to me, don't listen to Short Porch, listen to me, I'm the best out there. He needs to go be on that guy that throws up on Friday night. He needs to go to that guy that's on Friday nights. Go over there. Y'all guys will be good together. Talk to him and do your podcast and ramble on about yourselves. You know, go over there and do that. I'm sorry if I had to say that, but I'm supposed to be the kinder, gentler guy. So I get angry when I hear that, because nobody's, you know, there is 3 guys that I would put up there in on bat building, and he's not even up there. So one guy I talked to in Vegas for about 2 hours one year, 8 years ago, and this guy, you can always tell, man, it's nothing to you can always tell by talking to people. You can always tell by talking to them. In the first 10 minutes, you can tell if this guy knows this shit or not. And you're like, oh, okay, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. You know, but the guy that I'm talking about is the Suncoast guy, the guy that actually made up the 2.0s and the OG Dudleys. You know, everybody heard about him. You really don't see much of him. That's another thing too. You don't see much of that guy. Very nice guy. I like him. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he talks about bats. You know, John Lorne. That might be different, but this is the Suncoast guy. Used to be Reebok. Used to be Dudley. Used to be Adidas. Now he's Suncoast. That guy knows his shit. I will say that. You know, and those are guys that Bill Blake back in the '80s. You know, he's a guy that I would put way long ahead of all these other guys too. You know, because he knew his shit back in the day. But there's a lot to go around, guys. You don't have to be trashing other companies like this one, and that's what I see out there. Yes, definitely. And there is enough to go around. You don't have to be trashing, and that's what I see now, is a lot of the, you know, a lot of the trash and talking is going on, and just don't what I wanted to be, and I wanted to put out. I need to be a fact checker. I already said, you know, they have the fact checkers on Facebook, the alleged fact checkers, or the so-called fact checkers on Facebook. I want to be that fact checker. I want to be on YouTube, and I want to be that fact checker on Facebook, where you just guys can text me, goes, hey, is this da 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 da? And I'm like, no, that's not just my opinion. But basically, you know, we're not getting to reviews anymore. We're getting into this, the building of the bats, you know, the movement, and what they sent me this for, you know, and I'm kind of like rambling, going everywhere, because I'm not even on script anymore. I've been doing this for 15, 20 minutes. I'm not on script anymore. The movement, I want to tell you about the movement, and I kind of want to push that. I don't give a shit about everybody else's bat company. I really don't. You do you, let me or us do us. Let Short Porch do us, and you do you, you know, and get out there but what I see with these engineers with Short Porch is they believe in the movement. They believe in weight distribution. They believe in handle flex. And this so-called greatest bat guy in the world says he doesn't believe in handle flex, and he doesn't believe in barrel flex. You know, he doesn't, and I contradict something that he said here in a minute, was he doesn't believe, you know, and he's telling people don't think too far into that. Now this is not just the first time I've heard this. I've heard this from somebody else that had a booth in Florida, where my minions come back and say, hey, this guy said this, you know. He says, no, just whatever feels good in your hands. Just pick it up and swing it, whatever feels good. Well, that's the shit they used to do, you know, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when they're trying to sell you something. The movement is your bat speed. The movement is your flexing of the handle, barrel softness, barrel thickness. That's the movement. And Short Porch started doing that before they even talked to me about coming along and being with them. Short Porch started doing it. No other bat company did that. But they get butt hurt when they're asked, when are you guys going to start doing this? No, they can't do that because they can't agree with the movement. They've been doing this shit since the ancient days, and now the movement is, okay, what we're going to do with the way your body size, your body torque, everything goes into making this decision. And came down to that. It's came down to, where these engineers that I'm working for are going to sit here and, okay, this is what we need with this, and this is what we can put in your hands. You got a hard barrel, soft barrel, medium barrel, and then we can figure out a bat that better fits your swing. Because this ain't 35-year-old ball anymore, guys. It's one thing you guys got to understand. This is not 35-year-old ball anymore. This is stuff where seniors are gonna get on board, and they're gonna be going, well, I have a 50-mile-an-hour bat speed. I want to know what bat fits my swing. Well, there he is. There it goes. It's just the beginning. Like I was talking to this, we're trying to cramp a lot of stuff in at the end of the year. And what I need to do, because I'm talking to them and I'm telling them all this shit that I want them guys to talk about, or we can talk about, and go, whoa, let's not try to put it all within 4 months, because we don't want to mess up. We want to get everything out there. We want the bats that are coming out for Florida are already being built right now. So there was little bit things that we could tweak, but the whole getting bats tested at the end of the year is going to be hard. So I want to let you guys know that, because I've got this question on a daily basis: is when is your bat coming out? My bat will be out by Vegas. My bat. I have tweaked it. I call it tweaking. It's gonna have and I'm gonna tell you what I tweaked. Okay, it's got a little softer barrel, basically that it is, and it's got a little bit a different paint job. And I'm not gonna give out too much, because I'm gonna tell you, and if you guys been with me for that 15 years, you're gonna know what I'm talking about when I show you the barrel, right? So it's gonna be something. This bat's gonna be good in the next year, and the next year, and the next year after that. There's going to be little things that we talked about, me and Short Porch, where they are the engineers, and they're like, well, that sounds pretty good. We can do that. And I'm like, okay. But I'm not gonna come over to Short Porch and just throw everything. I'm still gonna let everything go. I'm still gonna be with YouTube, and but I changed it over, and there's some things I want to talk about with YouTube too. It might be at the end, but I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. But the reason, get back to what I was talking about, the reason that I jumped aboard is because they have guys, I know, that's how come I can't talk too much about them. They're engineers. These guys are engineers. They're out there. They're in the booth. And they're talking to you about their bat, the way they engineered their bat. What other bat company out there does that? That is the engineer that is talking about. You have one that's talking about composites, and what kind of composites, and Kevlar, and all that other stuff. I know they can't go in deep on it, because Christian just said not good with secrets. But and there's some things that I cannot talk about or cannot say, but that look really good in the future that I want to say so much. And Christian, like, I want to say so much, but there's little things that you can do to a bat that will make it. I can understand how come the bat guru guy that self-proclaimed didn't come up with these secrets that are out there. Like, wow, it's not simple. You just got to think into it. Here's the deal: you got to swing a lot of different bats to come up with stuff that Short Porch has talked about, especially with me. Let me explain to you something that I don't want to get, because this person talked to some people, and I want to correct him a little bit. And I'm going to use 2 different bats to correct him. I might use 3. I'll use 2 different bats to correct him. What you have here, and I'm not going to go too far into that. I'm talking about bats here. So what you have here is you have 2 bats. You have this, which is a short porch bat, right? This is the soda pop. This bat is made for slow bat speed people. Now, what will happen is you compression test this bat. It'll come between 200 and 205 when you compression test it, right? With this bat. This bat will lose compression and it'll get to a compression level and it will stay there for a long period of time. And then it will die at the end if it gets too many hard hits on it. The slower your swing, the longer it will last. The slower your swing on these soft barrel bats, the longer it will last. But if you give it to somebody whenever their bat speed is in the 80s or 90s, a buddy of yours that loves the bat, oh my God, you're hitting P-rods with it, let me swing it, and he hits it 90, 100 miles an hour, he's going to blow it up. So you're going to lose the bat to your buddy because his bat speed is too high. I will send you, this is the one you haven't swung, Fat Guy BP, Adam. I'll send you one of these. I have an extra one. I'll send it to you, 26 ounce. Send me your address. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Okay, so this is for the lower bat speed guys, right? It's going to get to a compression level, which is, I'm going to throw a number out there. It's going to get down to 155. This bat right here is going to get down to 155. And it's going to stay at 155. 155 for the low bat speed guys is very good performing bat, right? Now, 155, right? Now this bat right here. I freaking love this bat. Compression testing at 200 swings, a harder barrel at 200 swings, right? We'll get down to 190 at 200. It's a harder barrel bat, right? At 300, 175. Guys, it is at 175. That's not a secret. That's actually Trey Roberts trying to start shit. That's not a secret. That I'm trying to prove a point here. On the low bat speed, guys would love that bat. So you have this bat that doesn't get down to 155. It doesn't get down to 165, right? It carries a higher compression test. It will stay at 175 at its lowest. At its lowest, it will get striations all in the barrel. It'll stay at 175. So a lot of you guys that swing this bat that have the higher bat speed, if you're thinking you can give this bat to a guy that has low bat speed, he's still not going to flex that wall, right? I don't know if you guys knew that or not. If you took, because they all composites do not get down to one level and stay at that one level. All composites don't get down to 140, 135 and stay there. They don't do that. There's other bats out there that do not even get close. I've tested a bat with 800 swings on it that was at 180 at 800 swings. There's bats that I'd stay at 200 swings. A TPS out there. Y'all guys need to climb. A TPS out there will not get below. We never got a TPS bat. All the bats that we had out there never got a soft barrel on it. So this person said that all bats barrels get softer. No, they don't. That's how come I want these guys to just talk. Get up there on YouTube and or get it on Facebook and start talking about your experience. If you're that bat guy, start talking about experiences with bats, because I'm telling you what mine is. I've swung all them bats. We have swung all them bats. You can hear the guys. Guys, there's some bats out there that will not get under 200 compression, and we've swung them. And what happens to them is they stay at that 200 compression and they'll stay there for a certain amount of time, up to 800 swings, and then boom, it'll crack. Boom, it'll crack. They don't get to the 160, the 165, the 155, the 140s. They don't get there, right? So I just want to, that's an education thing right there. A lot of you guys are talking about all bats are built the same. They're not. I keep on seeing that. All of them are the same. They're not all the same. I read that on the Facebook all the time. Hey, they're all the same. It's a senior bat. Bullshit, they're not. You can't put a TPS in a lady's hands or a 50 mile an hour guy's hands, a 60 mile an hour guy's hands, and expect them getting performance out of it. I don't care what kind of load you're going to put on it, because big mass actually claps the wall a little bit better, right? I don't care what kind of load you put on it. You're not going to do that. If you're not swinging the bat speed, If you bat speed has everything to do with everything, guys. You know, whenever you're picking out a bat, short porch gets that. Short porch gets the bat speed. Trying to explain the bat speed thing. So that's the reason they're going in a direction that I wanted to go in, and they talked to me before I actually committed to go with them about what direction they're going in, and I love it. I love that they're getting a new trip bats. I love that they're getting into ASA bats. I love they're getting in fast pitch bats and baseball bats. That's what I love. It's not just one. The balls, you know, I love that their balls are pretty badass balls. They do have some very good balls, and we've been hitting them for a long time. They don't get dirty, you know, on the infield. They do not get dirty. That's another thing too. And they hold up. In our 100-degree weather down here, 90-degree weather down here, they hold up. So I just wanted to explain different bats are going to lose compression. You got a two-piece right here. A bat, it's that old school two-piece bat. Then you got this one right here, which is a medium. You got this medium bat speed. So the compression on these two bats right here will be different. And they will get to a certain point. This one higher than this one because this is a medium. This is a lower bat speed. So these two are going to be different in compression testing, you know. So that's the movement, guys. That's the movement and the direction that they're going. That's the movement that I want to be a part of. They're coming, Frankie. That's the movement I want to be a part of. That's the way I've been thinking for a long time about all of this weight distribution and, you know, handle flex. You know, handle flex has so much. You guys don't understand. If you got somebody that has built a badass bat, right? And I've learned this over the years. If you got somebody, and there's about 3 companies out there that actually have this technology or have this, that have this engineer that has done this, is the handle flex. I think Short Porch's handle flexes are bar none #1 across the board. And Trey and Clem could actually, because we talk about the consistency you get when you're swinging a bat. The consistency, you know, when you turn it in your hands. When you're up there and you're turning your hands, because there's some handles that flex, good on one side, and you turn it in your hands and it flex like shit on the other side. We have not had a Short Porch bat that has done that has that variance in handle flex. They're all good on the Short Porch on the handle flex. You got to talk to, I'm not going to talk about that, but you can have to talk to Christian about what he did there. And it's a formula that he's got there that he's not giving up to anybody. And I think it's freaking spot on when it comes to that, you know. So that's one thing too. Weight distribution, you know, that's another thing too. There are some things that I would like to change. Agree. I'm reading too much. But guys, there's so much. Here's another question to all the minions out there too. Can you guys tell me? I need. You can give an answer down there. This is something that I want somebody to answer. And Christian I think Christian can answer it. But Christian, don't say anything for a while. Let a lot of people answer this. Can you guys? Yes. Can you guys actually tell me how many registered senior softball players there is in the United States? Can you guys tell me how many registered senior softball players in the United States? Christian, don't answer it because I know you know. So I've heard 2 different numbers, and the number that I was told is like, wow, you know. Oh, come on, guys. Fat guy's closer than anybody. Adam's closer than anybody. $20,000, not even close. Not even close. No, not 5 million, Frankie. You just pulling around. There is a lot. But keep it. Nobody's gotten close yet. Trey Roberts, 800,000. Trey, why are you even commenting on that, guys? Jerry, there you go, 750,000. Mike, no. 750,000 to 800,000. Registered senior softball players. Registered senior softball players. That's a big number. That's a big number. So, yeah, it wasn't a guess, Trey. You should never answer that. Let everybody else answer it. So, there's ain't no, you guys. There's enough to go around. Y'all guys don't need to get up there talking shit to everybody about you're the best, right? Because I don't think there is a best. There's always knowledge to be gained. Always knowledge to be gained. You know, there's new shit coming out every year. Don't sit there and tell me you're the best, or tell my minions you're the best, because I hear that shit. Man, I'm way off script here. Now that I did that little rant for damn near an hour, but I got 50 people showing up watching. But Trey's the guy that he's the kid in the classroom that knows all the answers, because he's been given all the answers already when we hit. And then he comes up whenever I'm talking to everybody and he gives everybody the answers. 750 to 800,000 was the answer to that. That is a lot. Bet a lot of you guys didn't even know that, did you? I didn't know that until I found out about it. You know, I'm like, damn, that's a lot. And that's just not, you guys, that's just not registered with SSUSA. That's the registered that are across the board throughout the United States. So there's enough room for a lot of people out there. You do your shit, let Short Porch do their shit, you know. Only time will tell. It's like doing a bat review. Only time will tell. You know, if you guys get out there, if you guys like Marcus or Adam, you know, the chef, they're out there, and it's not a quick fix. It's really not a quick fix. It's something that there's something that you put your ass on the line and you say either it's right or wrong, and then later on down the road you're gonna have people that swing that bat enough to go, shit, he was right. He was right when he talked about this bat, because it is getting to this, it's just dying, or just it's not getting that extra gear, you know, because of it's not, the barrel's not getting any softer, you know. It's same thing with you know, just throw it out there and let it fly, man. Just let it fly. You got to have the balls to let it fly, though. That's the thing too, and get criticized for if it doesn't work out. What if it doesn't work out? You know, so you got to have that too. So, and same thing with Short Porch. This is a movement. This is a movement that's actually going to take the bat industry in a different direction, you know, with weight distribution and barrel flex and handle flex, you know, and with a lot to do with seniors. And hopefully, you know, 3 years down the road, you're going to have a lot of people swinging the bat and going, damn, thanks a lot, Dave. You know, this bat, you know, does, you know, fit my bat speed. One thing too, and somebody suggested this the other day, and I'm going to take it with me. I have a bat speed tester. I will be in Vegas, and it will be with me. In Vegas, there will be a compression tester, and there will be at the booth, Short Porch booth, there will be a compression tester, and there will be a weight distribution. And I will kind of go through, guys, like I did this at Patty Albright's tent and the Suncoast tent one year, where I was sitting there and I was picking some Suncoast bats up to do a review on, and I had the scale in the tent, and I was doing all the scaling, and somebody come up to me and, what are you doing? I said, well, there's certain numbers that I like. You know, if I want to get good performance out of a bat, I kind of want to get them within these numbers. That way it gives the bat person a better chance of getting a good review on, because, you know, if you're going to go too heavy on the hands, it's not going to have that big mass on the end. It's going to be like swinging a balance bat, and you're not going to get that, you know, to get that drive. You're not going to get that extra gear. So I kind of explained, he goes, what, can I ask you a question? I go, sure. And Patty will vouch for this. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him, and I'm going to do the same thing at Short Porch this year. Basically, same thing, weight distribution and handle flex, and just talk about all that stuff. And I sat down and I started doing her bats, and the guy asked me, what are you doing? I said, well, you know, I'd like to do this. And he goes, well, can you put me in a bat? And I go, well, what bat were you swinging? So he pulls out an old Adidas bat, and he goes, you know, I hit great with this bat, but I know it's at the end of this life because it's getting too soft for me. And he had that bat speed that actually was suitable for that bat. So I said, let me have it. Don't take the tape off of it, just let me have it. So he gives it to me, and I did weight distribution numbers on. I said, this is what you need to do. Listen to these numbers. It was 16.6 on the end, and it had a 9.5 on the hands. I said, you need to weigh every bat that you buy, and you need to buy the bat that actually gets close as you can to those weight distribution numbers, plus the same flex in the barrel. She can tell you about that one, and I pointed to Patty. She can tell you about that because of the barrel softness. You know, she knows that there's some Suncoast bats that have a little harder barrel because they got that big mass on the end, the mega, a little bit harder barrel. So she already knows that. So I just guided them in her direction. She picked out a bat for him, and there he goes, happy as can be, because Patty put him in a bat that the weight distribution numbers were the same as the bat that he just could kill the ball with, right? So that's just things I can talk about at the tent and have everything there. You know, if you got a bat that you love, come to the tent. I'll put you in a bat that's better suitable with a short porch bat that's better suitable for your weight distribution numbers. I think I've been preaching this for years, and about weight distribution numbers is a big factor on barrel flex too. You know, but the barrel flex too, you got a hard barrel, you got a soft barrel. So this is just little shit that I actually think about every night, and I wake up in the middle of the night and I write shit down. I've been doing it for years, guys, and it's all been in a flash drive, and I can always go back. Let me kind of go off here, script here, and talk about my YouTube channel's change. Is actually Short Porch YouTube channel. There's a few things on Facebook. My website has changed. It's got a bunch of my website has changed. It's got a bunch of short porch stuff on it. Got a bunch of videos on there. I'm going to have a bunch of tips, training videos that are going to go up on there too. And basically every link on everything you click on is going to go right into Short Porch's website from that website that I have. It'll go on to Short Porch's website. So if you want to buy a wig popper or whatever, you can actually click on a wig popper. It's going to take you right into Short Porch's where they have the wig poppers too. I've got a bunch of bats coming out this week on videos. Tomorrow morning, the pickle juice, I'm kind of rambling here. Tomorrow morning, the pickle juice will be released, guys. That is I got a video coming out in the morning on YouTube on that too. Y'all guys on Facebook have seen it. That is a very good one-piece bat, and that bat is going to be hot. I'm talking too much. I can't even see how many are on there. A lot of people commenting. So another thing too, whenever I have on this YouTube channel, when I have it sitting up like this, a bunch of shit talkers on there. So if you guys are on that YouTube, just don't pay attention to the trolls that are on there. They usually go away. Why don't you guys do something? Why don't you join the channel? Sit up there talking shit, because I know a few of you guys are talking shit. Join the channel. I mean, here's another thing too, guys. On YouTube, I didn't lose that many people on YouTube. I lost a few, but not really a lot, because there's so much other stuff that I'm going to, and I hope you guys, I'll talk to you guys after I get off of this one. But I invite, and I'm going to kind of ramble here. Instagram has changed to Short Porch. TikTok is Short Porch. My website is Short Porch. You get a lot of information off of there. I have a group channel on Facebook that is Short Porch. And plus there is another Short Porch channel out there too. Going forward from here on out, I've got a list of guests that I'm going to bring on. I do want to bring on Todd and his wife from Phantom Sports out of Florida. Kind of talk to them a little bit. They're the Signature Series guys that I do want to bring on and kind of like talk to them and get them introduced to everybody out there on David Ireland. That's one too. And just those guys that have their signatures on these Short Porch bats. I want to get them where I can get a schedule out, and on Wednesday night come up and no, it wasn't. It's actually pickle juice. The dill pickle is basically what it's there for. And if it's a dill pickle, so it's a dill. There's no shots being done. That's how come we're talking. This team, these guys don't do that shit. These guys, they don't care. They don't do that shit. They do them. They can do. That's what I like about them. It's not drama. You guys notice a lot of these back companies out there. A lot of it's drama, and I try to stay away from drama as much as I can. The thing about I invite too. This is another thing I invite too. I'm not. I'm going to not flood the market. I'm going to actually get the word out about short porch. I'm going to get the word out about the movement, right? Because that's what we're here about. Is the movement. Um, and that's what I'm gonna get. If you guys have something that you want to talk about, do a video on it. Just if you give me your theory. I can hear you talking behind everybody's back, but what do you think could make a bat better? And I know you're not going to say much because you usually don't, but and I know I'm not going to get short porch on here to talk about how they make their bats better because that's a secret. No, now that I'm in this line over here, that is a secret that I'm not going to get too much into. Um, but you guys like me, I'm talking about weight distribution. I'm talking about barrel flex matching don't just sit there and deny. What don't sit there and rip on short porch because they came up with this, medium, hard, soft, and don't just sit there and talk. What are you gonna do? I mean, what do you have out there? Just don't sit there and rip. You guys notice that they just sit there and they're mad. Almost where they're mad, and it's understandable. It doesn't. I'm not going to say going forward from this day on out. I'm not going to say much about it because there's just so much shit I've heard in the last 2 weeks. There's no loyalty. There's stabbing in the back when you're doing these back reviews, and if you can't scratch my back, then I'm not going to scratch your back. And if you bend the knee, guys, you're going to have friends for the rest of your freaking life. If you don't bend the knee, you're going to be a very lonely person. I did not bend the knee. So I knew, and I kept these people at arm's length. I knew what they were about, calling me kissing my ass and shit like that. Okay, dude, just get to the point. Just get to the point. Been doing this for a long time. And that's what I got tired of too at the end. The non-loyal people that said they were loyal. And if they no longer can use you as a platform, they're done with you. Kiss my ass, I'm going to the next guy. I'm going to the next guy. Start putting videos out. I know what happened. Start putting videos out. We lost Dave. Start putting videos out. That's a fact. There's no loyalty. Somebody posted something about that the other day. There's no loyalty in softball. Yeah, there's not. I'm going to still be talking about health, nutrition, TRT, weights, workout videos on that. I'll talk about that when I get off of here about the workout videos. But somebody talked to me the other day about this too, and I want to get into that. His TRT guy shut him down off of testosterone. He's 57 years old. He had as low as a 200 TRT level. Got him up to 550, which I said was a little too low. You don't want to be at 550. You want to be at 750 to 800. So I was trying to give him the numbers, try to get your doc and talk to your doc. Guys, don't listen to this. Just go to your doc before you do any of this shit. Go to your doc and have him check you out that you really have to get on it. The guys, get your quality of life back. You'll heal faster. Some guy, 70-year-old, hey, what can I do to get a pop on the ball? For one, you need to go to your doctor. Have him check you out. And then have him check your testosterone level, your hormone levels. And then the pellets are expensive, Matt. Insurance doesn't pay for the pellets. So they're like $600, man. Where they talked to me about that years ago, and I'm not paying. I paid for TRT, and it's $20 a month through my insurance. But that's regulated. They do check you too for it. So a 70-year-old, the first thing you do is go have your heart checked. Go do a stress test. Get everything checked out. Check your testosterone levels, and if they are at not sufficient levels, then you need to get on TRT. That's number one thing. Another thing too is before you start a workout routine, you cannot start a workout routine. Um, it never did that to me, Howard. It actually made it better because if you're not on TRT, and I'm just going to contradict what you just said, if you're not TRT, your estrogen levels rise, right? Because your testosterone gets way too low, your estrogen stays up there. So if you have high estrogen, your emotions will get real bad too. So I was to a point where my testosterone was way low. I was very emotional, right? The chick flicks got to me. So I was very emotional. Well, when I got on TRT, it got up above my estrogen levels and they went up there and I was better on TRT. So check with your doc, check all that stuff out. There's a reason why you're emotional. It has a lot to do with estrogen, not too much with testosterone. Now, a little bit of aggressiveness could be in there with testosterone, but not where you're going to wig out. That's another thing too. That's a myth about getting on TRT is, oh, you're going to wig out. No, you're going to get mad. No, it's not. That's not the truth. I was angry when I was off, when I was at 200. Oh, I'm not angry as much anymore. Anyway, talk about TRT. Hey guys, 15 years ago when I started talking about this, I was like the devil. Like, no. Now I'm talking to guys and they understand it because they're on it and they feel better. Hey, thanks for telling me about Tick. I'm with my doc and he's got me on it and I feel so much better and I can actually work out in the gym. I can get a little bit stronger. That way I can stay in softball. I can recoup faster. A lot of seniors get out of softball because they can't recoup. It takes them 5-6 days to recoup and they're just tired of recouping. So they don't understand that it's the TRT problem. It's a hormone problem. Get in there and have them checked. Get them at their optimal levels. I'm not talking about up here, guys. That's another thing too. Get them at where they used to be in your 30s or 20s. Get them to that level at 750, 800 and keep them at that level. So the 70-year-old, hey, here's one thing. Go and get your testosterone checked. First thing, before you get on a workout routine, you got to get your testosterone checked. Well, I had another guy tell me that his doc shut him down. He's at 500. His doc shut him down because his hemocrat, I think that's how you say it, his red blood cells were too high. The doc starts freaking out because he'd been on TRT, I think, for 6 months. And his 6 or 8 months. And his red blood cells were too high. His iron was too high. So his doc just shut him down, right? That was it. Shut him down. And he calls me up and he goes, what's going on? And I said, send me your paperwork. So he sent me his paperwork and I looked at it and said, go get Fleet. Go give blood. You guys saw on Facebook, you see me the other day, right there. I was giving blood. I actually live with a nurse that fleets me once every 3 months. Takes a pint of blood out of me once every 3 months because if you're on TRT or if you have sleep apnea, your red blood cells will actually increase. Yeah, that's a bit high. 1100 is not bad. 1100 is normal, actually, believe it or not. So I'm like, simple fix. He didn't know this. The doc did not tell him this. Hey, your red blood cells, let's back off. Let's stop doing it. Don't go down. No. Don't wait for them to go down. Because when your red blood cells are high, and if your iron is high, your blood's thicker. So why the hell are you waiting? Go down and give blood. Take a pint of blood out of you. Quick fix like that. Right? Your numbers start coming down a lot, like within 2 points. I know this because I've done it. Go back another month. If they're too high, go back another month and give blood again until you get down to those levels, which is 15. So yeah, 300 is not normal. You're symptomatic at 300. I was symptomatic at 360. I felt like shit at 360. Now I have energy. I think better. I'm clear. You got brain fog, terrible brain fog at 200. I've talked to guys that were at like 120 guys. And I was like, how are you living? I don't understand. How are you living, man? And I said, you in the gym? Yeah, I work out all the time. And I'm like, well, I bet you're not putting on any size. I bet you're not putting on any strength. And he says, no, I'm not. He just bending his wheels in the gym, not getting any stronger. Testosterone makes you stronger. But again, check with your doctor before you freaking do anything. Before you do anything, I'm just giving you a pathway to get your quality of life back. Do not retire. Testosterone helps your body heal. Cholesterol helps your body heal too. Testosterone helps your body heal faster, right? Growth hormone does it real fast if you're low in growth hormone, but that's a totally different story, you know. Um, so I just told the guy, get fleet. You're gonna probably feel a lot better, not as sluggish. You're gonna feel a lot better. I know I do. I just feel better once I get fleet. And I'm gonna still talk about that. I'm not just going away. I'm just not going to short porch, uh, and just that's it. I'm forgetting about everybody. That's another thing. That's another thing you guys understand. I'm gonna still be talking about TRT. And I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm gonna run blood panels on me, because I do get checked um, quite a bit. And but these are little things that, and I'm hoping I oh, these are little things. That is, there's a few people that I want to that I did not say thanks to, and I kind of want to say thanks to, that actually got me started doing this. Um, and I talked about that um, the seniors that needed to know about bats, or with best bat fits their bat speed. Those guys, they helped me just to get me in there and start swinging their bats and seeing if they were broken or not. But there are two guys that I was watching YouTube back in 2009, 2008. I was getting back into senior ball. I was watching YouTube, and I want to kind of give them a shout out right here. Is Steve Butler and his buddy that's with him, Mr. Woodward, Bob Woodward. I forget that name. Steve Butler and Bob Woodward. You guys know that guy. I actually watched his videos, and I thought they were pretty funny at the beginning. And they kind of got me interested in watching all the YouTube channels. And I have no idea. I heard he had back surgery a few years ago, and he's a pretty tall man, and he wasn't getting back into it anymore. I've talked to him on the phone. He's a pretty guy. He's a pretty good guy that knows what he's talking about too. Steve Butler is. Bob is the guy that worked with him and do a lot of the videos. Um, um, a lot of the videos with him. I'm reading the guy's stuff. 355 is not working any either. You got to get higher than that. Yeah, big dude. Um, and he talked about training. He talked about hitting balls or hitting them. This was years ago, 16 years ago. Talk about hitting a basketball up against the wall or something like that. But anyway, those guys, I watched them, and then the main guy from my mom is Ken Vandergaard. I want to thank him. He actually reached out to me the other day, and whenever I first started, I actually contacted him and talked to him a little bit on the phone, and he kind of said what I needed to start doing, because he had videos out and he was doing a lot of these videos. Ken was a very nice guy, and he does that swing makeover. You guys see him all over. He's got, like, I guess 20 something thousand subscribers right now. He's big. Whenever I first saw him, I think he had 7, and then he's putting all those videos out. And you see him on Facebook every once in a while putting videos out. He's a good friend of mine, and I want to thank him for giving me the guidance to actually get into the senior softball bat review kind of deal. And he kind of laid the ground rules. You're putting yourself up there for criticism, and because he doesn't let anybody comment on his things, and I'm saying, on his videos. And I said, well, I'm gonna let anybody comment, because it really doesn't bother me that too much about that. But those are a few guys that I wanted to talk about that I haven't talked about in years, and you guys would have never known that about all of that stuff. But the ladies, another thing too, and I know a few of you girls are up here too, and y'all chime in every once in a while. The ladies, I have not forgot about you. I am gonna ramp that back up in the next month or two before Vegas, because they have a ladies bat coming out. Short Porch has a ladies bat coming out, and I cannot wait to get a hold of that and let you girls swing it and kind of give your opinion on what you think about it. So yes, I'm not just This is another thing too. It's funny because I came up with the ladies thing because I thought you girls were being neglected when it talks about bats, because you cannot swing a TPS and actually get any kind of performance on the TPS because your bat speed's just not up there and you're hitting a girl's ball. So it's a lighter ball for one, and I would prefer that you go to a softer barrel with that, not that heavy ass weight, but that medium weight, not a 24 ounce or 25 ounce like, a lot of people claim that I say, and I do not. And guys, have you watched any of my channels? You know how you get your weight that you swing? You just don't pick a fucking weight. Sorry, ladies. You just don't pick a weight, and because it's 28 ounces. Your bat speed has got to be a 20. If you pick a 25, swing a 25, get your bat speed down, swing a 26, get your bat speed down. If you lose 4 miles per hour, stay with the lowest weight. If you ladies can swing a 27 as fast as you can swing a 26, stay with a 27. If you can swing a 28 as fast as you can swing a 27 and not lose 4 miles an hour, stay with 28. That's how you pick your bat speed. That's science. That's not bro science. That's science. Somebody came up with that. That's not me either. Somebody came up with that years ago. About bat speed. You still got to create the bat speed. So yeah, I mean, I'm not giving up on the ladies. Ladies are going to double down. So stay tuned. Double down. I think Short Porch will go in that direction. They told me they're going in that direction. It's going to be bat for everybody, you ladies included. We talked about some things that's on the board that's going to help you ladies out next year. So that's another thing that's coming too for you ladies out there. So no, you girls should never be swinging a hard barrel bat. All soft barrel bats. Hell, if you can swing a 28, guys, and you girls out there talking about the 28, you can swing a 28 fast as you can swing a 27, stay with the 28. But if you lose 4 miles an hour, stay with the 27. Same, going all the way down, same way. Guys, I'm done. Hour and 15 minutes. I'm done. And again, guys, there's good things coming down the road. I'm excited. I mean, I wake up. I don't think I get 3 hours sleep a night. Because I'm constantly thinking about the things I've been thinking about that I have not talked about for 15 years, and finally I'm writing them down, and to better benefit you guys out there. And it's the movement is that Short Porch agrees with the movement. The movement is, and they've started the movement before I came along. I'm just that link in those engineers' minds that they can bounce ideas off of me, and then we go, hey, let's give it a test and let's do this. But the people, what I like is the people you see at the booth, the people that you'll see in Vegas are all engineers there. Go up and talk to them. Go up and talk to me. Come by and talk to me. I can talk. Guys, I can talk if you want to talk to me. And I'm not going to banter with you. I'm not going to trash you. I'm not going to, that's bullshit. That's something that I don't think I've done. I've told the truth in the last 15 years. I'm going to keep trying to tell the truth now. But, and we'll see in the next 3 years, who the winner is, and if you're the winner, I'll be the first one to shake your hand, because there is a lot of good bat manufacturers out there. But I think this is a movement that will benefit everybody, and just not one bat fits all, which a lot of people are trying to claim out there, or whatever feels good, and you're dry swinging it in your hands, which you don't even know the barrel. It's a soft barrel, hard barrel. I don't know. Feel good in your hands? Take it. $250. There you go. See ya. Tell your friend. Come on over. That's what I want to try to get away from. And come to Vegas, guys. You guys are in Vegas. Breakaway. I think we're going to be at Big League Dreams. If that changes, I will let you guys know. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to have a lot of other people on. Just not me talking and ranting and been in everybody's ear and talking about different things. If you guys have things you want me to talk about, health and nutrition, you guys that are out there, I got this the other day. This is a kitchen scale. I got to have an extra one for Vegas. You guys out there doing a lot of run around, this is a carb drink. This is carbs. This is complex carbs. It's fast absorbing carbs. You guys playing tournaments, mix you up in the morning, drink a little bit during the day. Don't flood your body with it. It's complex carbs, fast absorbing energy. Sip on that during the day. If you ever get like you can't eat in between games, just sip on that stuff right there. I've got creatine in here too that, I'm a firm believer in. Actually helps with retaining water, and it helps with muscle fullness. Doesn't It puts on 10 pounds, but that's just 5 to 10 pounds, and it actually draws water into the muscles, not the fat, just the muscles. So you are stronger when you draw water into the muscle. Just things like that, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can't. Not even you guys can see that, but there's a whole. This is my desk in here where I get all my vitamins. I have a lot of vitamins right here. I've got probably 15 bottles of vitamins right there that I take, and I want to go through all of that. So I'm not just giving up. I'm just giving up the bat reviews. I'm not giving up everything else. Um, I'm just not doing the bat reviews anymore, and I'm not critiquing bats. I have a lot of people that call me and ask me, "What do you think about this bat?" I don't give them an answer. I don't, because I'm out of that. I don't want to be into that. There's a lot of stuff that's happening to the bats right now that a lot of people will text me and say, "Have you seen this? Because this is what's happening." I'm not going to answer it. I mean, I'm not going to trash another bat company that's out there or call them out and say that I will not do that, guys. And as long as I'm with Porch, I won't do that, because that's not the way they think. That's not the way they want to handle themselves. Kill everybody with kindness. Leslie actually talks about that, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do us and let them do them. And then I have a lot of stuff next week and weekend after, because I've got a whole. I never even got to what I was going to talk about today. I got 5 pages, bullet points that I'm sitting here with, that I haven't even got into that because I went over that big rant at the beginning, guys. But I'll see you again next week. Thanks, guys. YouTube, and I know you guys had to put up, because I've seen a lot of you guys in there. Let me see how many you guys got here. Oh, there's only 19. It's not bad. The one thing I do want you guys to do on YouTube, if you are a member, and I'll talk to you guys about that too. If you aren't a member, get off those top 2 tiers, get on the bottom tier. Just get out of them on those top 2 tiers. Get on the bottom tier. Everything has been moved from those top 2 tiers onto the bottom tier. And then I still have weight programs. A lot of the stuff that I don't want to talk about on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to put in that membership channel. A lot of the bats that are coming out will go to that first, will go to that membership channel, and then a couple of 3 days later they'll be published on either Facebook or YouTube, where everybody else, the public, can see them. But there's a lot of directions that I do want to take that. I just didn't want it to be the top tier and then the middle tier. I wanted to take those off, and everybody can rejoin it. If you want to rejoin, I'm not pressuring you to rejoin. If you want to rejoin on that bottom tier, you can do that, because I'm moving. I have moved everything that was on that top tier, moved to the bottom tier, and I kind of want to get rid of those when everybody gets off of them later on. And everything is going to be Short Porch from here on out. There will be no other reviews, no other bats that I'm going to be talking about. And basically, I'll be talking about mainly what I can put you in, what kind of hand flex. If it has a no flex handle, kind of like the Fat Guy BP bat has a no flex handle. And what better would you like? Because I think what he talked about, and it's actually been a success, is he's the one who built that bat on that Fat Guy BP bat. He's the one who built that bat, and he went to a no flex handle with a 1/4 ounce inload, and that bat's fire. That bat's really good. It's something bat that I wouldn't swing, because I'm not that high handle weight guy, and that 1/4 ounce inload. I like a 3/4 ounce inload. My bat that comes out in the next couple of months will be a 3/4 ounce inload. That's why I geared it for. Weight distribution numbers are my weight distribution numbers that I put in there, going up and down. So, barrel flex, that's mine. I picked that barrel flex out. This is something that I had to throw together, that I could not put a lot of my ideas in, because for one, I would have to get it retested, and you cannot retest anything in the next 3 months. It just can't be done. It takes a long time. So the ideas that I threw out which was 5 at the beginning for my bat, 4 of them got kicked out. And I'm like, okay, then what do we do? He goes, well, let's do a 12.25. Let's do what you talked about on the barrel, and let's do our carbon a little bit. We're going to tweak, we're going to tune the carbon up a little bit where it has a little bit more barrel flex, a little bit more hot out of the wrapper. It's not going to take you long. It's not going to take you that long to get there because I have that different back speed than a lot of other 45, 50-year-old guys do out there. So I built the bat, the first run. I built it for me and my people that have my bat speed. I didn't build it for the 40s. So if you guys grab a 40-year-old guys, grab my bat and you start swinging it because it's going to be hot and you're going to blow it up fast. I'm just telling you, that's just the way it goes. That's what it's been doing for 15 years. I already know you guys are going to pick it up and you're going to blow it up. You're going to get great performance on it till it loses that compression. And then I would recommend you give it to somebody, 150 swings into it. You can't take it out in a tournament. You can't pick it up off the where they have the trailer. You can't pick it up out of the tent and pull it out of the wrapper at a 40-year-old, 45-year-old, 50-year-old and just start blowing it. You're going to damage the barrel. It's a bat that needs to be broke in with 52 300s or spinner balls at the beginning. Get 150 swings on it and then start hitting it and then put it away. I'm just setting you guys up. So it's a bat for 65-year-old guys. I'll be playing 65s next year with a team. I'm not going to tell you yet. I've already been picked up, I think. Talked to me about 2 weeks ago and talked to me again last week. So I'll be playing 65 Major Plus next year. And it'll be geared more toward the 60, 65, 70-year-old guys. Those guys. So 12.25-inch barrel. Next year's going to be a different monster, though. That's another thing, too. But there's going to be a lot of testing that goes into next year on my bat for next year. So this is something that I wanted to get out for Vegas. It's something that I'm really excited about. And I never planned this, guys. I never planned to have my own bat. I never did. I never planned to have my own bat. I thought I could build a pretty good bat, but I never had that plan to have my own signature series because, I've been, I consider myself now, believe it or not, an average player. There was a time where I used to be really good, but I never talked about it, and I never went out there and pounded my chest. Oh, I'm the best. No, I never did that, guys. So I'm for one, I'm an acquired taste. And I'm more geared toward AA, AAA, the major players, and not necessarily too much toward the major plus players. One thing I do like about what Short Porch is doing is they're not having these pros come in and start representing their brand. They have like the Brandon Murrays that come and can actually mash, and they're putting, which I think you need that. And you guys remember I said this too when the guys that I brought, the Mark Reeves, the Bubbas, they serve a purpose. The Mark Reeves or the Bubbas, they serve a purpose. They can do some things with these bats, but then again, I need the Clem. Now Clem's gotten up where Clem's better now. He's not injured anymore, and he's better. He's getting up there where Bubba's at, right? So then I got to Trey. Trey is not your signature. I'm not your signature. Trey's not your signature. A lot of the guys I'm going to have going forward are going to be, a lot of 65, 70-year-old guys are going to be out there hitting, because that's what Short Porch is representing, is a lot of the senior players that are out there. And I think the more informed that we can get you guys into bats, and that movement that Short Porch is doing, the better, because I'm tired, and this is what I'm excited about. I'm tired of watching people lie, and I hate fucking liars, man. I really do. I got tired of watching people lie on YouTube and Facebook about something I have knowledge in, and just trying to get money out of you. That's why I started all this shit, from doing bat reviews. And to the day that I quit, the rumor got started. The rumor got started, and I didn't know I was going to do this, and the rumor got started. And I have Jeff Kessler about the rumor that I was going over to Short Porch. I said, "Who the hell started that rumor?" And he goes, "Dave, it wasn't me." And then he was quiet. You know, he's explaining, "It wasn't me, Dave. I'd never heard that rumor." He goes, "But what if the rumor was true?" And I'm like, "Well, I would have to entertain an offer." And he was all excited about bringing me on, and I had already thought about going to get a job somewhere else. So y'all guys know that story. But I never got into this as wanting to have a bat named after me, and I am going to have a bat named after me, and and it'll and when they brought me along, I said, as long as I can build the bat, which a lot of these bat signature guys don't build their own shit. That's another thing too, man. Give you a grasp of reality. This is a grasp of reality. I'm gonna be fucking straight up with you guys. A lot of these bat review people, not bat review people, a lot of these signature series bats, they're not engineering that bat. They're not. I'm not saying all of them. I will tell you this, the majority of them are not building that bat. They're not picking out rosins. They're not picking out carbon. They're not telling you how it's, woven. Not putting Kevlar in there. They're not doing that, So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Got a lot of good shit coming on. I just want to let you guys know. I haven't forgot. I want to do this every week. I want to find out how I can get, and if you guys know, let me know if I can get YouTube. And I've tried two other ways. I'm gonna have to get an app probably. YouTube into Facebook, where I can do my Facebook Live videos from here on out, and both of you guys can watch on one, because I'm actually using this extra iPhone that I have, which is not a bad iPhone, extra iPhone that I have. But if I go outside of this house where I don't have Wi-Fi, it dies. I can't pick up anything unless I get another landline on it, and I might think about doing that too, just getting it put into another landline. My kids have grown up, and I had 5 lines at one day, and my kids are growing up and turning in their lines because they're married and moving away and they don't live at home anymore. I'm thinking about getting their phones back from them, having their husband or their wife pay for their stuff, and dad not paying for this shit anymore, and getting one of those phones and actually using it as a double YouTube and a Facebook too. So I'll let you guys know. I want to be transparent. You guys want to know anything, just ask me. Fact checker, like I talked about earlier. I'll fact check anything for you. I mean, I'm that guy where I don't like people who try to deceive other people to sell something or try to get away with something. I'll tell you the truth. Thanks, guys.